Good morning everyone, today I'm starting the new motovlog series about my hometown Berlin, the capital of Germany, and I'm starting at one of my favorite places, the Olympic Stadium. The Olympic Stadium was built in 1936 for the Olympics, and the stadium has over 74,000 seats and is very renowned for hosting the 2006 FIFA World Cup final. And during World War II it survived largely unscathed and has been extensively renovated to accommodate modern events. You can do some guided tours of the stadium, which offer insights into the Nazi era with a focus on the 1936 Olympics. The stadium's combination of original and modern architecture is absolutely striking. Today it hosts concerts, sport events and even international championships. So it's a very impressive building. It was constructed for the 1936 Summer Olympics. The stadium was a centerpiece of the games, and Jesse Owens was winning 4 gold medals here in this Olympic Stadium. The stadium was designed by architect Werner March, and the stadium showcases neoclassical architecture reflecting the monumental style of this special time and era. Between 2000 and 2004 the stadium was intensively renovated, transforming it into a modern venue while preserving its historic essence. The Olympic Stadium is an absolutely must-visit landmark that encapsulates the spirit of Berlin. Yeah, the Olympic Stadium is an absolutely impressive building, and you always find a lot of driving schools with motorcycle riders that do some training lessons here. And this is a meeting point where I very often meet some friends with motorcycles to have a chat about bikes. So the first point of my tour, Olympic Stadium of Berlin. It's absolutely impressive and definitely worth a visit. Okay, so this was the first point on my tour today, the Olympic Stadium of Berlin. Very impressive building. Yeah, and there's a lot of driving schools today. Everyone learning how to ride a motorcycle. And there's even the police doing some exercises. The next point on my list is a place in the forest. It's just 5 minutes away from here. And now I'm after a few minutes in the forest. Beautiful place to live here. And on the right hand side, between these trees, is the Teufelsberg, or Devil's Hill, Devil's Mountain. And if you are on the top of this hill here, the Devil's Hill or Teufelsberg, then you have a beautiful view over Berlin. So if the weather is great, a very good point if you want to have a nice view over the city. Yeah, and we are directly in the city, and as you can see, Berlin is a very green city. We have a lot of parks, we have a lot of forests, huge forests. So the living quality in Berlin, if you are in these areas, is absolutely amazing. I will stop somewhere here and tell you a little bit about the Teufelsberg. So there it is, on the right side, on the top you can see the small mountain. So this is the Teufelsberg. It's 120 meters high. It's the highest mountain in Berlin, but it's not a natural mountain. It's constructed from the debris of bombed buildings post-World War II. So all this is World War II rubble. What's really interesting, there's a US listening station on top of the mountain, which was monitoring the Soviet communications in the Cold War. Nowadays there are a lot of street artists showing their graffiti art in this US listening station, and a lot of visitors are there and urban explorers. One fun fact, beneath the Teufelsberg lies an unfinished Nazi military technical college, which is now buried and forgotten. So a very nice place if you want to do a walk in the forest and want to climb this mountain. And on the top of this mountain you have a beautiful view over Berlin. So let's go to the next stage of my tour today. This was the second stop, the Teufelsberg, the Devil's Hill. The name of the forest which is starting here and which is a huge area in Berlin is the Grunewald, with some beautiful places to relax, to walk or to cycle. The next stage on my tour today will be the exhibition area of Berlin. There are some very interesting places that I like to show you. It's just 5 minutes away from here. So we are already there. This was very fast. This is the main building of the exhibition area of Berlin. So I will stop somewhere and tell you a little bit about this very interesting area here. In the background you can already see the Funkturm. We are now in front of the Messe Berlin, the Berlin exhibition grounds, one of the oldest trade fair grounds in the world, dating back to 1914. This huge complex hosts major events like the IFA, the Tech Fair and the ITB Travel Fair. What's very cool here is the mix of historic and modern architecture, from the original halls we are now in front of to the sleek new buildings on the backside. This Berlin exhibition ground opened in 1914 with a major expansion post-World War II. One fun fact about Berlin exhibition grounds is that during World War II, some parts of the Messe Berlin were used for arm production. Right behind the Messe Berlin you see the Funkturm Berlin, the Berlin radio tower. You might be thinking it looks like Berlin's Eiffel Tower. Well, you're not far off. Built between 1924 and 1926, the Funkturm was originally a radio transmission tower. It is 150 meters tall, and here's something cool: the whole thing was built on porcelain insulators to avoid grounding electrical current. There's an observation deck on top and a restaurant, so you can have a wonderful view over Berlin on the Funkturm of Berlin. One fun fact about the Funkturm: its nickname by Berliners is Langer Lulatsch, which is like the lanky guy. So this was quite interesting, the Messe Berlin and the Funkturm, and right behind the Funkturm you can see a silver building, and this is the next stage that we are heading to, so very close, but also very interesting. It's a huge building, the International Congress Center, and I think I will show you everything from this side here. So after all these classical buildings, now behind me, the Berlin spaceship. A very futuristic building. It's the International Congress Center. Yeah, you can see Berlin spaceship. It was completed in 1979 and was once one of the largest conference centers in the world. Its aluminium facade gives it that futuristic sci-fi vibe. Unfortunately, it has been closed since 2014 due to asbestos issues. But the big question today, will it ever reopen? No one knows. There are a lot of debates about this, whether to preserve it or tear it down or give it a whole new purpose. It's still one of Europe's largest congress centers. The nickname of this congress center is Spaceship because of its futuristic design. One fun fact about the ICC, it appeared in several sci-fi films and music videos because of its futuristic look. Okay, so this was the International Congress Center of Berlin. Really interesting building, especially with this aluminium outside. And the name is right, it looks a little bit like a spaceship. So I'm slowly riding back to the starting point of my tour. This is a very nice area here, it's called West End, it's one district of Berlin, which is very quite expensive, but very beautiful. So this is a little bit away from the city center of Berlin. Yeah, and look here, beautiful old villas in this district. So I'm back at the Olympic Stadium and I will enjoy the nice weather, relax a little bit, and after that I go for dinner. Berlin is a very huge city. A lot of different areas, like historical areas, crowded areas, nightlife, restaurants, bars. We have a lot of water. We have the Havel and the Spree, so two rivers floating through Berlin. We have a lot of lakes. And then in the next few episodes I will show you more of Berlin, and if you have any questions or suggestions what you like to see, just write it down in the comments. I still have to wait a few weeks until I can start the longer road trips with my Meteor. I'm still not sure about the destination of my longer road trips. I think I will go south, direction of the mountains, the Alps maybe. And Europe is so beautiful. You can see so many beautiful and completely different destinations. And the destinations in Europe, they are so diverse, so interesting, so beautiful. You have the Scandinavian countries like Finland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Then of course Germany is a beautiful country, France, Portugal, Spain, Italy, you name it, so many beautiful countries. I think exploring Europe will be very interesting, especially with a slower bike like this. I hope you liked the video today, this small sightseeing tour here in Berlin. And if you did, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And if you're riding, ride safe. I see you in the next one. Take care and cheers.